Have you ever wondered why some relationships thrive while others falter? What is it about the interplay of openness and discretion that creates lasting respect and admiration? Today we'll explore the 3 things a woman should always keep to herself in a relationship, not as a way to deceive, but as a way to cultivate strength, mystery, and harmony. Stay with me, because by the end of this you'll understand not only how to navigate vulnerability, but also how to wield it as a source of quiet power. The essence of mystery in any relationship is often misunderstood. It is not about secrecy or withholding. It is about maintaining a sense of depth that invites curiosity and exploration. Humans are naturally drawn to what they do not fully understand, and this intrigue forms the foundation of attraction and respect. For a woman, the ability to preserve an air of mystery is not merely a relational strategy, but a reflection of self-awareness and self-respect. When a woman holds certain parts of herself back, not out of fear, but out of intention, she is asserting her own individuality and ensuring that the relationship remains dynamic and alive. In relationships, there is a tendency to believe that complete transparency is the ultimate sign of trust and love. While openness is vital, too much can diminish the sense of wonder that keeps people engaged. Oversharing, especially in the early stages of a relationship, can inadvertently erase the excitement that comes with discovering someone over time. It's not about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about allowing space for the natural process of connection to unfold. When a woman retains an element of mystery, she invites her partner to invest effort into knowing her on a deeper level. This effort builds a foundation of respect and admiration, which are essential for any meaningful bond. Maintaining mystery also serves as a safeguard for a woman's emotional well-being. Vulnerability, though a cornerstone of intimacy, must be wielded with wisdom. Not everyone is prepared to handle the depths of another person's feelings, fears, or experiences. When too much is revealed too soon, it can overwhelm or even create a sense of imbalance in the relationship. By choosing to reveal certain aspects of herself gradually, a woman can ensure that her partner is emotionally mature enough to meet her at that level. This process not only protects her, but also strengthens the relationship by building it on a foundation of mutual understanding and readiness. Mystery creates an environment where growth is constant. When one person in a relationship feels that they have figured out the other, there is a risk of stagnation. The allure of the unknown keeps the connection vibrant and fosters a continuous desire to learn and grow together. For a woman, this means cultivating her own interests, passions, and ambitions outside the relationship. When she invests in herself, she becomes someone who is not only interesting but also inspiring to her partner. This sense of autonomy and self-development ensures that she is never entirely dependent on the relationship for her identity or happiness, which in turn makes her presence even more valuable. Another dimension of mystery is tied to emotional expression. While it is important to communicate feelings and work through challenges together, there is power in not reacting to every situation immediately. Emotional restraint does not mean suppressing or denying one's feelings. Rather, it means taking the time to process them internally before sharing them externally. This approach allows a woman to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, fostering healthier communication and demonstrating emotional maturity. When a man sees that a woman is capable of handling her emotions with grace, he is more likely to approach her with the same level of respect and consideration. History also nurtures the concept of healthy boundaries. In relationships, boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out, but lines drawn to preserve individuality and mutual respect. When a woman keeps certain aspects of her life private, be it her inner fears, long-term dreams, or past struggles, it is not an act of dishonesty, but one of self-preservation. These boundaries remind both partners that while they share a connection, they are still two distinct individuals with their own journeys. This sense of independence can actually strengthen the relationship, as it prevents codependency and ensures that both partners contribute equally to the dynamic. Additionally, the essence of mystery is deeply connected to confidence. A woman who does not feel the need to divulge everything about herself exudes a quiet assurance that is incredibly attractive. She understands her worth and does not seek validation through oversharing or constant reassurance. This confidence becomes a magnet, drawing her partner closer while simultaneously setting the tone for a relationship built on mutual admiration rather than neediness. In this way, mystery becomes a form of empowerment, allowing a woman to take charge of her narrative and decide how much of herself she wishes to share. The role of mystery is not confined to romantic relationships alone. It extends to all aspects of life, including friendships, professional interactions, and personal growth. A woman who embodies this principle carries an aura of depth and self-possession that commands respect wherever she goes. She becomes someone others want to understand, to learn from, and to connect with on a meaningful level. This quality is not about being distant or aloof, but about maintaining an inner world that is rich, complex, and unapologetically her own. At its core, the essence of mystery is about balance. It is about being open enough to build trust and intimacy while retaining enough of oneself to preserve autonomy and dignity. It is about recognizing that vulnerability is a gift, one that should be shared only with those who have earned the right to see it. In a world that often pressures women to bear all, to be completely open and available, embracing the power of mystery is a revolutionary act of self-respect. It is a reminder that the most profound connections are those that are cultivated with care, intention, and a deep respect for the unique and ever-evolving nature of the self. Strategic vulnerability is a concept that often gets misunderstood in the context of relationships. Vulnerability is essential for connection, but its power lies in its timing and delivery. When revealed thoughtfully and intentionally, vulnerability becomes a tool for fostering trust, intimacy, and mutual understanding. For a woman, learning how and when to share her deepest fears, emotions, and struggles is not just a relational skill, but a form of self-protection and empowerment. At its core, strategic vulnerability is about discerning who deserves access to the most delicate parts of one's inner world. Not everyone is prepared or capable of holding that space for another person. Sharing too much too soon can sometimes create discomfort, lead to misjudgments, or even foster an imbalance of power. When a woman takes the time to evaluate whether her partner has demonstrated emotional maturity and trustworthiness, she safeguards herself from unnecessary heartache or disappointment. This measured approach allows her to build a relationship on a solid foundation, ensuring that vulnerability becomes a gift rather than a gamble. The ability to be strategically vulnerable requires a deep understanding of oneself. It starts with recognizing one's own emotions, needs, and boundaries. For example, sharing a personal fear or past trauma should come from a place of wanting to build a bridge of understanding, not from seeking validation or reassurance. When a woman understands her reasons for being vulnerable, she can approach the act with clarity and intention. This self-awareness ensures that her vulnerability is a strength, not a liability. Timing is a critical aspect of strategic vulnerability. There are moments in a relationship when being open can deepen the connection, and there are moments when it is better to hold back. For instance, in the early stages of a relationship, vulnerability should be approached gradually. Revealing too much too quickly can overwhelm the other person or create a sense of pressure. On the other hand, sharing an appropriate amount of vulnerability at the right time can foster trust and signal that the relationship is progressing toward deeper intimacy. This balance is not about playing games, but about respecting the natural rhythm of connection. Strategic vulnerability also involves understanding the type of information that should be shared and when. There is a significant difference between being authentic and being overly transparent. Authenticity is about showing up as your true self without feeling the need to hide or embellish, while transparency is about exposing every detail of your inner life. For a woman, being authentically vulnerable means sharing what feels right and necessary in the moment without feeling pressured to lay everything bare. This discernment allows her to protect her emotional well-being while still fostering a genuine connection. Another important aspect of strategic vulnerability is the way it is communicated. How a woman shares her emotions or experiences can have a significant impact on how they are received. If vulnerability is expressed in a way that feels overwhelming or chaotic, it may unintentionally push others away. On the other hand, when vulnerability is expressed calmly and thoughtfully, it invites empathy and understanding. This means taking the time to process emotions internally before sharing them externally. By doing so, a woman can approach the conversation with clarity, ensuring that her vulnerability is met with care and respect. strategic vulnerability also serves as a test of character in a relationship. When a woman shares a piece of her inner world, she gives her partner an opportunity to show how they respond to emotional openness. A supportive and understanding response indicates a level of emotional maturity that is crucial for a healthy relationship. Conversely, dismissiveness, discomfort, or a lack of empathy can be a red flag that the relationship may not be as strong or safe as it needs to be. By being selective and intentional with her vulnerability, a woman can assess whether her partner is capable of providing the emotional support and respect she deserves. Another dimension of strategic vulnerability lies in its ability to create reciprocity. When a woman is open about her feelings or experiences, it often encourages her partner to do the same. This mutual exchange fosters a deeper sense of connection and trust. However, this reciprocity must be balanced. A woman should not feel compelled to share more than she is comfortable with just because her partner has done so. Strategic vulnerability is about mutual respect and pacing, ensuring that both partners feel safe and valued in the process. There is also an element of empowerment in choosing when and how to be vulnerable. Society often portrays vulnerability as a weakness, particularly for women, suggesting that being open makes one susceptible to harm or manipulation. However, when approached strategically, vulnerability becomes a demonstration of strength. It shows that a woman is confident enough to share her truth while still maintaining control over her narrative. This balance of openness and restraint commands respect and sets the tone for a relationship built on equality and mutual admiration. Strategic vulnerability is not about hiding one's true self or avoiding difficult conversations. It is about protecting one's emotional integrity while fostering meaningful connections. It is about recognizing that vulnerability is a precious gift, one that should be shared with care and intention. By understanding the nuances of timing, communication, and reciprocity, a woman can navigate her relationships with grace and confidence. She can build connections that are not only emotionally fulfilling, but also rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Self-preservation is an often overlooked but crucial aspect of maintaining a healthy and balanced relationship. It's not about isolation or detachment, rather it's the practice of prioritizing one's own well-being, mental health, and individuality while nurturing a relationship. For a woman, self-preservation can be seen as a necessary act of self-respect. It's the understanding that no matter how deep the connection with another person becomes, she must never lose sight of herself. This principle is vital because when one person in a relationship becomes too enmeshed with the other, the relationship risks becoming unbalanced and unhealthy. The first layer of self-preservation lies in the ability to maintain one's identity outside the relationship. Relationships are meant to complement one's life, not consume it entirely. While intimacy and connection are key components of any bond, they should never erase individuality. A woman must continue to engage with her passions, her ambitions, and her sense of purpose, whether they are professional, creative, or personal. By doing so, she retains her autonomy, and this autonomy not only strengthens her, but also enhances the relationship. When both partners have rich, fulfilling lives outside of the relationship, they bring a sense of depth and growth to their connection. This prevents the relationship from becoming a source of dependency or stifling attachment, and instead transforms it into one of mutual enrichment. Self-preservation also involves setting and maintaining personal boundaries. Boundaries are often misinterpreted as walls meant to shut others out, but they are in fact the lines drawn to protect one's emotional, physical, and mental space. In a relationship, boundaries are essential because they help both individuals maintain their own sense of self while sharing a life together. A woman who practices self-preservation knows her limits and is not afraid to communicate them. Whether it's saying no to certain behaviors, requesting time alone, or voicing discomfort with specific actions, setting boundaries ensures that she does not sacrifice her own well-being for the sake of the relationship. When these boundaries are respected, it fosters mutual respect and trust, creating a space where both partners can thrive. Another aspect of self-preservation is emotional resilience. A woman who understands the importance of self-preservation builds her emotional strength by learning to navigate life's challenges independently when needed. This does not mean that she faces adversity alone or refuses support, but it does mean that she is capable of maintaining her emotional equilibrium. even when the relationship faces difficulties. Emotional resilience allows her to approach relationship challenges with a balanced perspective, making it less likely that her self-worth will be dependent on the actions or responses of her partner. This inner strength allows her to handle disappointments, setbacks, or misunderstandings without losing sight of who she is. Rather than seeking validation from her partner during times of distress, she is able to lean on her own emotional resources, creating a healthier dynamic where both partners can support each other equally. Self-preservation also involves the ability to recognize when a relationship is no longer serving one's best interests. This is a difficult and sometimes painful realization, but it is an essential act of self-care. Many people, especially women, are conditioned to believe that love means sacrifice, that they must endure situations that cause them the several harm for the sake of the relationship. However, true self-preservation means acknowledging when a relationship has become toxic or unfulfilling. A woman who values her own well-being is not afraid to step back from a relationship that is causing harm, even if it's difficult. This does not mean that she is giving up on love or that she is incapable of compromising, but rather that she is committed to maintaining a healthy sense of self regardless of the circumstances. In the context of self-preservation, it is also important to recognize the role of self-compassion. Often women are taught to prioritize the needs of others over their own. While nurturing and caring for others is a beautiful trait, it should never come at the expense of one's own mental or physical health. Self-compassion means being kind to oneself, especially during moments of struggle. It's the practice of recognizing one's own needs, validating one's own feelings, and offering oneself the same care and understanding that would be given to a loved one. When a woman practices self-compassion, she becomes more resilient in the face of adversity and more capable of maintaining her sense of identity and strength in any relationship. A key aspect of self-preservation is also the practice of emotional independence. While a relationship can offer support and comfort, it should never become the sole source of one's happiness or fulfillment. When a woman relies solely on her partner for emotional satisfaction, she risks becoming overly dependent, which can lead to an unhealthy attachment. Emotional independence is about learning to fulfill one's own emotional needs, whether through hobbies, friendships, or self-reflection. This sense of independence fosters a sense of confidence and stability, allowing the woman to engage with her partner in a way that is healthy, supportive, and mutually beneficial. It also allows her to weather life's storms with resilience, knowing that she does not need to be rescued by another person to feel whole. Self-preservation is also about self-love. It's the recognition that she is worthy of respect, kindness, and care, and it's the refusal to settle for anything less than a relationship that honors and supports her. This is not about being selfish or demanding, but about maintaining the standard that she deserves to be treated with dignity and compassion. A woman who practices self-preservation does not tolerate disrespect or mistreatment. She understands that she is whole on her own and that a relationship should add to her life, not take away from it. By nurturing her own sense of self-worth and emotional well-being, she creates a foundation for a healthy, balanced relationship where both partners can grow and thrive. The act of self-preservation, in its many forms, is a vital aspect of maintaining a balanced and fulfilling relationship. It requires wisdom, courage, and self-awareness. A woman who practices self-preservation not only safeguards her emotional and mental health, but also ensures that the relationship can grow in a healthy and sustainable way. By maintaining a sense of self, setting boundaries, building emotional resilience, and practicing self-compassion, she can navigate the complexities of life and love with confidence and strength. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt, recover, and maintain balance in the face of life's challenges, and it plays a vital and a healthy relationship. For a woman, cultivating emotional resilience is not just about withstanding hardships, but about thriving in adversity while maintaining a sense of self. It is the strength to face life's difficulties, whether they come from external sources or from within, and still emerge with wisdom, self-awareness, and a sense of emotional integrity. This resilience helps a woman navigate the ups and downs of relationships without losing her individuality or well-being. At its core, emotional resilience is about how one responds to difficult emotions, setbacks, and stress. It is the ability to process emotions without allowing them to overwhelm or define one's actions. For a woman, this means being able to confront pain, disappointment, and frustration while maintaining a sense of perspective. Rather than allowing emotional turbulence to dictate decisions or reactions, emotional resilience enables her to take a step back, reflect, and choose a response that is grounded in clarity rather than impulsive emotion. This is not to say that vulnerability or sadness should be suppressed. Rather, emotional resilience allows for a balanced approach of emotional expression, recognizing the importance of feeling deeply while maintaining emotional equilibrium. Part of developing emotional resilience involves understanding that negative emotions are a natural part of life, not something to be avoided or feared. Life is full of challenges, and relationships, while beautiful, can bring their own set of struggles. Whether it's dealing with misunderstandings, unmet expectations, or moments of emotional vulnerability, a woman with emotional resilience learns that these experiences are not a reflection of her worth, but a part of the human experience. When she faces difficult moments in a relationship, she doesn't allow them to define her or her ability to love and connect with others. Instead, she sees them as opportunities for growth and learning, both personally and relationally. Emotional resilience also means knowing when to take a step back and protect one's emotional health. In relationships, there can be a tendency to give so much of oneself that personal well-being is compromised. A resilient woman recognizes the importance of self-care and emotional boundaries. She knows that her emotional well-being is essential for her to be the best partner she can be. Whether it's taking time for self-reflection, pursuing individual interests, or simply giving herself space to process emotions, emotional resilience empowers her to maintain her sense of peace and stability, even in turbulent times. By practicing self-care, she is better equipped to handle the challenges that arise without feeling depleted or overwhelmed by the emotional demands of the relationship. One of the most powerful aspects of emotional resilience is the ability to forgive not just others, but also oneself. Relationships by nature involve moments of misunderstanding, conflict, and hurt. A resilient woman understands that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a means of liberation. Holding on to anger or resentment only keeps one anchored in negativity, preventing growth and healing. Forgiveness, whether it is of a partner, family member, or even oneself, allows space for growth and understanding. It doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior, but rather choosing to let go of the emotional weight that can keep one stuck. When a woman practices emotional resilience through forgiveness, she frees herself from the burden of past pain, allowing her to move forward with a clear heart and a renewed sense of purpose. Emotional resilience also strengthens communication within relationships. A woman who is emotionally resilient is able to express her needs, desires, and concerns calmly and thoughtfully without being controlled by her emotions. In moments of conflict, instead of reacting impulsively or becoming overwhelmed by anger, she can engage in the conversation with clarity and poise. This level-headedness helps create a space where both partners feel heard and understood. It fosters an environment of trust where difficult conversations can be had without fear of emotional chaos or defensiveness. By approaching conflict with emotional resilience, a woman demonstrates that emotional maturity is crucial for the health of the relationship, ensuring that it remains strong even through challenging times. In a relationship, emotional resilience also supports the ability to bounce back from setbacks or disappointments. It is the understanding that no relationship is perfect and that there will be times of tension, hurt, or uncertainty. Rather than letting these moments lead to feelings of hopelessness or abandon, a resilient woman faces them head-on, acknowledging the pain while also understanding that it does not define the future of the relationship. She trusts that both partners are capable of working through difficulties, learning from them, and growing stronger as a result. Emotional resilience gives her the ability to stay committed to the relationship even when things get tough, knowing that challenges are a part of the journey and can ultimately lead to deeper connection and mutual respect. Another key element of emotional resilience is the ability to adapt to change. Relationships, like life, are constantly evolving, and change can often bring discomfort or uncertainty. Whether it's a shift in the relationship dynamic, a new life stage, or external pressures, emotional resilience enables a woman to adapt to these changes with flexibility and understanding. Rather than resisting change or feeling threatened by it, she approaches it with an open mind and a willingness to grow. This adaptability not only helps her navigate relationship changes, but also allows her to embrace the opportunities for personal growth that change often brings. Through this, she continues to evolve as an individual while still nurturing a strong, healthy relationship. The idea of emotional detachment in relationships is often misunderstood, with many equating it to indifference or coldness. However, emotional detachment practiced healthily is not about removing emotions or distancing oneself from connection. Instead, it's about creating space between one's emotional world and the external factors that could otherwise overwhelm or dictate one's emotional state. For a woman, emotional detachment means being able to maintain emotional balance, clarity, and independence while still engaging deeply and meaningfully with her partner. It is a form of emotional strength that allows her to handle difficult situations without becoming consumed by them. One of the key benefits of emotional detachment is that it helps a woman avoid emotional overinvestment in situations or relationships that may not serve her best interests. In an emotionally intense relationship, it can be easy to get caught up in the highs and lows, losing perspective and becoming overly reliant on the relationship for validation, approval, or happiness. Emotional detachment helps her maintain a sense of self-worth that isn't contingent on her partner's actions or feelings. By keeping her emotions in check, she can evaluate the relationship more objectively, avoiding the pitfalls of emotional dependency or unhealthy attachment. This doesn't mean that she is withdrawing from her partner, but rather that she is creating a sense of emotional independence that allows her to stay grounded no matter what happens in the relationship. Emotional detachment also helps protect a woman's mental and emotional health. Relationships can sometimes be a source of stress, conflict, or emotional turbulence. By learning to detach emotionally from situations that could cause unnecessary distress, a woman ensures that she doesn't internalize negativity or allow it to affect her well-being. This doesn't mean that she becomes emotionally indifferent to her partner's feelings or needs. Rather, she develops the ability to separate her emotions from the stresses of the relationship. In doing so, she is able to respond to challenges with a calm and thoughtful approach, rather than reacting impulsively or allowing her emotions to dictate her behavior. This level of emotional control allows her to maintain her peace of mind and protect herself from unnecessary emotional pain. Another aspect of emotional detachment is knowing when to let go. In any relationship, there are moments when a partner may behave in ways that are hurtful, inconsiderate, or disrespectful. In these moments, emotional detachment becomes a tool for emotional self-preservation. Rather than absorbing the negativity or getting lost in feelings of anger, resentment, or disappointment, a woman practicing emotional detachment can step back and observe the situation with clarity. She can allow herself the space to process her emotions without becoming overly attached to the negative feelings associated with the incident. This allows her to make decisions with a clear mind, whether it's addressing the issue calmly with her partner, taking a break to cool off, or choosing to let go of the negative emotions altogether. Emotional detachment is also crucial when it comes to maintaining boundaries within a relationship. A woman who practices emotional detachment understands the importance of setting healthy emotional boundaries. She recognizes that while intimacy and emotional connection are important, she must also protect her own emotional space. This means knowing when to step back and not allow the emotional demands of a partner to overwhelm her. For example, if her partner is going through a difficult time and is asking for constant emotional support, a woman who practices emotional detachment knows that she must balance her desire to help with her own need for emotional space and self-care. By setting these boundaries, she ensures that she doesn't lose herself in the relationship and maintains the emotional energy needed to care for herself. Emotional detachment also plays a vital role in conflict resolution. In relationships, disagreements are inevitable, and how one handles conflict can make a significant difference in the outcome. When a woman is emotionally detached, she is able to approach conflicts with objectivity and calm. instead of allowing her emotions to dictate her responses. This detachment helps her listen more effectively, express her thoughts clearly, and respond to her partner's concerns without becoming defensive or overwhelmed. She can engage in the conversation with a clear focus on resolving the issue rather than getting lost in emotional reactions or the need to win the argument. This not only promotes healthier communication, but also helps both partners navigate conflicts in a more constructive way. While emotional detachment offers many benefits, it is essential to practice it in a way that doesn't lead to emotional disengagement. A woman must still remain connected to her partner and be able to share her emotions openly. Emotional detachment is not about shutting down or avoiding emotions altogether. It's about finding balance when allowing emotions to control her actions or decisions. It's about recognizing when emotions are clouding judgment and taking a step back to regain perspective. By maintaining this emotional balance, she can continue to be emotionally available to her partner without sacrificing her own mental or emotional health. Emotional detachment also plays a crucial role in personal growth. By stepping back from the emotional intensity of a relationship, a woman can gain a clearer understanding of herself and her needs. It allows her to reflect on her emotions without being swept away by them. This self-reflection helps her make more intentional decisions in her relationships, ensuring that she is acting in alignment with her values and priorities, rather than being driven solely by emotional impulses. In this way, emotional detachment fosters personal empowerment and growth, allowing a woman to stay true to herself while still being a compassionate and engaged partner. Emotional detachment can protect a woman from manipulative or toxic behavior. In some relationships, a partner may attempt to manipulate, guilt, or control the other person by exploiting their emotional vulnerabilities. A woman who practices emotional detachment can recognize these behaviors and resist being swayed by them. She is less likely to internalize blame, guilt, or shame, which can be powerful tools in manipulative dynamics. This form of emotional detachment helps her maintain her sense of agency and emotional autonomy, ensuring that she doesn't lose herself in the face of toxic behavior or unhealthy relational patterns. It is also important to understand that emotional detachment does not mean the absence of care or affection. A woman who practices emotional detachment can still love her partner deeply and care for their well-being without becoming emotionally entangled in every aspect of the relationship. By maintaining a sense of emotional detachment, she is able to engage in the relationship with greater clarity and focus, offering her love and support from a place of strength rather than emotional dependence. This balanced approach allows for a healthier, more sustainable relationship where both partners are able to grow individually while nurturing their connection. Emotional detachment is a powerful tool for maintaining emotional balance and health in a relationship. It allows a woman to protect her emotional well-being, set healthy boundaries, and navigate conflict with clarity. When practiced consciously and thoughtfully, emotional detachment does not hinder connection but enhances it, allowing both partners to engage in the relationship from a place of mutual respect and emotional strength. Through emotional detachment, a woman can build a relationship that is fulfilling, supportive, and grounded in mutual emotional health. The idea of independence in a relationship is often misunderstood, especially when it comes to women. Many view a relationship as a space where two people are expected to merge their lives completely, giving up their individual identities and desires in the name of love. However, true independence within a relationship is not about distance or separation. Rather, it is about maintaining a sense of self while deeply engaging with another person. For a woman, independence means preserving her individuality, pursuing her passions, and standing strong in her beliefs, all while being a loving and supportive partner. It is the recognition that both partners are whole individuals and that a strong relationship is built on the foundation of mutual respect for each other's autonomy. Independence in a relationship is about the ability to make decisions for oneself without being overly influenced by the other person's opinions, desires, or expectations. It's the understanding that both partners should retain the right to make choices that are in their best interest, whether in regard to career, friendships, personal goals, or even personal values. A woman who practices independence understands that she is not defined by the relationship alone. She continues to pursue her goals, maintain her friendships, and develop her interests outside of the partnership. This sense of self-sufficiency not only strengthens her sense of identity, but also enriches the relationship. It ensures that neither partner feels smothered or confined by the other, allowing both to grow individually and together. Being independent also means that a woman takes responsibility for her own happiness and emotional well-being. It's a common misconception that a relationship should fulfill all of a person's emotional needs, but this sets unrealistic expectations and can lead to dependency. An independent woman knows that she must first nurture herself, her mental health, her emotional needs, and her sense of purpose so that she can show up as a healthy, whole partner. She doesn't rely solely on her partner for validation or happiness, but instead cultivates a fulfilling life for herself. This mindset prevents emotional codependency and promotes a healthier dynamic where both partners are encouraged to live their lives fully and independently, yet share a deep connection. Independence in a relationship fosters trust. When both partners are self-reliant and confident in their individual lives, there is less room for insecurity, jealousy, or possessiveness. Each person trusts that the other has the ability to stand on their own, and that the bond between them is based on love and mutual respect rather than dependency. For a woman, this sense of trust in her own independence translates into emotional strength and stability. She can offer love and support to her partner without losing sight of her own needs and desires. Independence allows her to be fully present in the relationship without feeling the need to control or be controlled. And this mutual freedom creates a deeper, more authentic connection. Independence also involves the ability to speak up and advocate for one's needs and boundaries. In a healthy relationship, both partners should feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, desires, and concerns. A woman who practices independence knows that it's essential to communicate her feelings honestly and assertively, even when it's difficult. She does not shrink herself to accommodate her partner's wants at the expense of her own. Whether it's standing up for herself in a disagreement or ensuring that her personal space and time are respected, independence empowers her to take charge of her own well-being without fear of rejection or conflict. This kind of assertiveness fosters respect and understanding, encouraging both partners to engage with each other as equals. Another important aspect of independence is the ability to handle challenges alone when necessary. A woman who values her independence is not afraid to face obstacles on her own. While a healthy relationship involves mutual support, there are times when personal challenges require individual strength and resilience. Whether dealing with work-related stress, personal loss, or emotional struggles, an independent woman knows how to navigate these experiences without needing to depend on her partner for constant reassurance or help. She understands that personal growth often comes from facing difficulties independently, and this autonomy contributes to her overall strength and sense of self-worth. Her ability to handle challenges on her own does not diminish her relationship. Rather, it enhances it by allowing her to bring the sense of emotional stability and self-reliance to the partnership. In an independent relationship, both partners have the freedom to explore their own paths. This doesn't mean that they don't support each other's journeys, but it does mean that they can each pursue their personal goals without guilt or sacrifice. For a woman, independence allows her to carve out a career, pursue educational goals, or engage in personal hobbies and interests that may not be shared by her partner. This space for personal fulfillment prevents feelings of resentment or unspoken dissatisfaction, ensuring that both partners feel encouraged to pursue their dreams while maintaining a strong connection with one another. Independence also means that a woman values and nurtures her friendships and social life outside the relationship. While a romantic partnership can be a significant source of emotional support, it should not be the sole foundation of a person's social world. A woman who is truly independent ensures that she maintains a healthy balance between the romantic relationship and her friendships. These social connections provide her with additional sources of support, laughter, and personal growth, and they help her maintain a sense of individuality within the relationship. Her friendships are not a sign of emotional withdrawal from her partner, but an expression of her need for personal space and connection with others. This freedom to connect with others outside the relationship enriches both her life and the relationship, as it encourages a sense of balance and mutual respect for each other's need for outside connections. Independence helps prevent feelings of resentment from building up in a relationship. When one partner feels suffocated or trapped by the expectations of the other, resentment can quietly fester, eventually undermining the relationship's foundation. A woman who practices independence creates a healthy balance of togetherness and individuality, allowing both partners to grow and evolve without feeling restricted or controlled. She knows that for the relationship to thrive, each person must be able to live authentically, pursuing their own goals and desires while also nurturing the bond they share. This understanding prevents emotional burnout, fostering a partnership that is grounded in mutual